How do you exhibit integrity when there is a lack of integrity in the workplace?
I allude to in my book that I'm savvy on working on cars. I used to go to the auction and pick up cars, fix them with minor problems. I would look at the cars at the auction. You could hear running. They wouldn't let you open up the hood, but you could look up under it. If I saw oil dripping or leaking, I wouldn't buy that car. So once I got the car back, I bought a car for $2,000, and I actually cleaned it up, gave it a tune-up. I put maybe about $300-400 in there of parts, and the rest of it was my hard work, labor per se. I'm not going to go out and try and sell that car for $10,000 because it's too much gouging. Now, what I will do is get a fair number to make a good profit. If I got a car like that, normally I would sell that car for $5,000, maybe $6,000. Especially if it's a great car and it's going to someone who's going to utilize it and really, really need it. Now, I believe in doing the right thing. I quoted this on my Facebook page a couple weeks ago. When integrity is when no one is looking, you still do the right thing. Because guess what? Somebody is looking. The supreme being, which my supreme being is God, they're looking, and there's a thing called karma, and it will come back around to you. During the pandemic, they was coming, the car dealership would come pick your car up, take it to the dealership, and just repair all types of repairs, send it back to you. And the thing about it is, it was a slow time. So they would have things that they say they repaired that didn't make sense or wouldn't make sense, and they expected you to pay for those repairs. So that type of lack of integrity, it irks you and makes you upset. And I would say back in the day when I would take my cars to try to get repaired to these mechanics that was not affiliated with any type of dealership, the little mom and pop repair shops, once you get there, if they haven't had a car that they worked on all week, they expect to make their weekly salary from your car. So, like I said, doing the right thing when no one is looking is key. Now, if I'm working with someone that lacks integrity, I have done that in the past, I would always keep my integrity. And when they come to me and say, no, we can get this amount for this, we can charge this extra, and my comment has always been, no, we want to treat people fairly, do the right thing. I said, because if it was you and you took your car in and get repaired, you would want people to give you a fair price. And that's the same thing when you're in corporate America. If you got a contract, I remember in Iraq, we would get a scope of work or a request to tender for a job. And one of the things with that is that engineering, the scope of engineering is always high because you got people with the technical ability, make sure the pressures and all that stuff is right. And normally the highest thing on the job is your engineering costs. So what we would do is we have a lot of engineers that have their professional engineering degree, but it depends on where they're located. If they're located in the Philippines, India, places where the economy to scale is much, much lower. So the cost of living over there is extremely low. So you can send it over there to those guys who have their professional engineer's license. They'll look at the whole overall scope. They'll design how many pumps you need, the type pressures, the size pipe, the schedule, what type of chemical injection skid you need, and all that. I remember one of those jobs came back, the engineering services that we had sent to India was $30,000. Now we got that, and our resident's PE reviewed it, and then he stamped his PE license stamp on it as well. And the engineering costs had jumped from $30,000 after we put our markup on it. I think I'm ashamed to say it was like $200,000. And I told them, guys, although we need to adjust for the cost of living and all of that, like I informed them, all we're doing is marking this up. I work with these guys every day with the Ministry of Oil, for an example. I'm not going to give the name of the company. And I have a good relationship with these guys and they trust me. I don't feel comfortable with this cost. Cornelius, you can go out of the room. I said, no, I'm in the room now. I said, yes, that's a standard price for engineering services for this scope of work. However, we didn't pay that much for it. But anyway, you got to have a comfortable level of integrity. And by me demonstrating that and letting them know, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this, they readjusted the numbers and they got that number down to like $125,000. So I have worked in areas like that, but basically I keep my professional integrity, and as long as you keep your professional integrity intact, others will follow.